Every time a female has a consummation night, she wears a ring. The more rings on her hand, the more males she has favored. On this planet, only males exist. To ensure the continuation of their species, they had to create artificial females for genetic pairing. However, society still has far more males than females, so a female is allowed to have multiple males. Artificial females cannot conceive and may even lack intelligence. Hence, naturally born females are highly protected, especially those with the ability to reproduce. Today, a naturally born female, who had been missing for years, reappeared, attracting many males to come and bid. In a high-class booth, a man wearing a Lion King mask sat on a sofa in a sharp military uniform, with his legs crossed and his sharp eyes watching everything below. Auctioning females severely violates the Empire's laws, especially rare, naturally born females. He was here specifically to catch them red-handed. As the host loudly announced, the red curtain was slowly drawn open. At the same time, a clean fragrance spread through the venue. When Luca came to his senses, he realized his face was already flushed, and his heart was pounding. Known as the Sword of the Empire, he never lacked female suitors. But he never felt anything for them. Not even his fiancée, Princess Isabel. Unexpectedly, he reacted this time. On the auction stage, a large golden birdcage was slowly raised. The girl lay sideways on a white velvet blanket, curled up in fear. Her black hair was spread out, and her skin was as white as jade with a touch of pink. Seeing this, all the males went crazy. Even before the host could speak, the price had already skyrocketed from 1 million to 5 billion. Evelina was groggy. She had actually woken up earlier and even escaped the auction house's confinement. But she was quickly captured and drugged. The prompt in her mind made her momentarily clear-headed. Host detected in danger. Passive skill activated. Before she could react to the source of the voice, a strong fragrance suddenly enveloped her. Instantly, all sound ceased, and red eyes turned toward her. Within 3 seconds, chaos erupted. The sweet scent triggered the male's berserk genes, and now all they wanted was the girl on the stage. Evelina intended to escape amidst the chaos, but a man suddenly rushed towards her. She closed her eyes in fear, but the expected pain didn't come. Opening her eyes, she saw a blonde man standing in front of her, his silver sword stained with blood. Then Luca opened the cage and walked in. Contrary to her expectations, he knelt on one knee and slightly bowed. Sorry for frightening you. Meanwhile, the prompt sounded in her mind. Detected a compatible male orc. Mental strength, SSS. Talent, none. Gene, excellent. Please conceive as soon as possible. This urgent prompting stunned her, but she quickly caught the keyword, orc. Could it be that I've crossed into a game world? Can I still return to my original world? Host will be rewarded with items and points for each birth. When points accumulate to 2,000, the transmission function can be activated. Points vary based on the gene quality of each offspring. Excellent, 100, good, 80, average, 60, poor, 40. She wanted to continue asking about her situation, but the drug's effect started to kick in, and she fell forward, losing consciousness just before falling into a strong embrace. Luca carefully held her, confirming she wasn't hurt, then wrapped her in his cloak. Feeling unwell from the drug, she instinctively clung to the man's neck. Luca felt his breathing become increasingly heavy. Realizing something was wrong with himself, he quickly picked her up and prepared to leave. Colonel, all illegal traders have been arrested, but the boss escaped amidst the chaos. It seems the female's scent caused the riot. Fortunately, we took inhibitors in advance. Otherwise, we wouldn't have completed the mission. At this moment, his subordinate noticed the flush at the corner of Luca's eyes. Angus was about to inquire, but was interrupted. Let's retreat first. Leave the other females to the Female Protection Association. Then he looked at Evelina in his arms. I'll handle this one. With that, he carried her and left. Watching Luca's departing figure, a soldier couldn't help but shake his head and sigh. Boss taking her back is useless. He's incapable. Angus turned back with a punch. What nonsense are you spouting? Isn't it true? The colonel, such a top-tier male, became infertile due to war contamination. The whole venue went crazy over the female's scent, but the colonel didn't react at all. No wonder he doesn't need inhibitors. Angus's expression was strange, but I saw the colonel seem to be enduring it. Not long after, at Luca's residence, Luca nervously carried the girl to a room, while instructing the servants to bring a medical kit and water. Call Dr. Laberly over. The next moment, he suddenly stopped. And the inhibitors. Bring as many as you have. Soon everything was prepared and sent over. The servants were puzzled. Does Master still need inhibitors? Last month, when the princess came to the mansion to court him, Master was indifferent. The butler smiled calmly, but his eyes were deep as he looked at the room. Inside the room, inhibitor tubes were scattered on the ground. Luca's face was now flushed. As long as he stayed with this female, his genes were constantly agitated. He rolled up his sleeves haphazardly and gave himself another injection. He could have handed the girl over to the Female Protection Association, but because there were also males there, he feared she would be coaxed into becoming someone else's mate, equivalent to sending her back into the wolf's den. But he forgot. He himself was the Wolf King. The girl was burning up, mumbling words he didn't understand. Seeing her in distress, Luca stepped forward to check her condition. As soon as he touched her forehead, his mind went blank, barely regaining his senses through sheer willpower. He placed her in a tub filled with cold water, and Evelina finally relaxed. Seeing her state, Luca gave himself another inhibitor injection. In the past, he felt nothing for any female, and was even ashamed of it, seeking top doctors to no avail. He never imagined he would end up like this, eventually losing his reason completely. 6 hours later, Lieberly retracted his healing hand. Luca, you're truly mad. Naturally born females are key protected entities in the Empire, not your personal property. You not only brought her back without reporting, but dared to treat her like this. Luca ignored his reprimand. How is she now? The drug's effect is lifted, but she has no mental strength, and her physical condition is terrible. Lieberly's gaze flickered as he looked at the sleeping girl. What do you plan to do? Next month is your ceremony with the princess, yet you've marked this female. Do you intend to abandon your ideal husband image and become a despised scoundrel? Luca's eyes were complicated. I haven't marked her. Lieberly laughed, knowing full well what happens during drug detoxification. You really want to be a beast? Don't you plan to take responsibility? I can be her guardian, provide her with the best life. But beyond that, I can't offer more. In the Ostland Empire, each female could have 3 or more guardians to ensure a high quality of life. Only top-tier males who pass strict screening can become official guardians. Now, having done what he did, he claims he wants to be a guardian. Lieberly sneered. So, you're not applying to be her mate? I belong only to Princess Isabel. Luca, I hope you remember what you said today. Evelina slept for a day and slowly opened her eyes at dawn. Seeing the luxurious decor, she thought she had smuggled into the Louvre. Trying to get up to see where she was, her legs gave way, and she fell. The door immediately opened, and a silver-haired handsome man rushed in, followed by a tall blonde man. Lieberly quickly helped her up, using his healing ability to ease her leg pain. He put a pearl bracelet on her wrist. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Of course I can hear you. I'm not deaf. Wait, she understood him. Lieberly was overjoyed. Oh my, she can speak. He then saw her wide, unamused eyes. And she has emotions too. This is a naturally born female? How adorable. After Lieberly's explanation, she learned that the bracelet was a photonic brain, with translation functions for the entire galaxy and real-time positioning. Though it seemed magical, as a modern person, she quickly accepted her situation. Faced with questions about her identity, she gave some answers, and the rest were feigned with amnesia. Do you remember what happened last night? She had noticed Luca as soon as she entered, and remembered everything from last night. Recalling his cold gaze, she shook her head. Luca frowned, about to speak. Lieberly interrupted. Do you have your guardian's contact? They must be worried. Evelina didn't answer, only asked, Where am I? This is my secondary residence. You're safe. I mean, what country? On which continent? Both men were stunned. You're in the capital of the Ostland Empire, Atlantis. This is the most civilized place in the entire Federation. I'm not sure what you mean by continent. Evelina's eyes dimmed. The place names matched the game setting. She had indeed crossed into the game. Unfortunately, she never read game guides before, knowing little about the world's background. So, you can't find my family. Luca sensed her disappointment, wanting to comfort her but said nothing. Lieberly approached her. It's okay. You're so cute. Many will want to be your guardian. Evelina was puzzled. But I'm already an adult. I don't need a guardian. It was a reasonable statement, yet the two men were shocked, wondering what she had been through. In the Empire, unmarried females, even after adulthood, must be protected and provided for by their guardians. Unless the female herself requests to dissolve the relationship, no male would abandon his female, especially a rare, naturally born one. Luca had checked her records. She was unknown in the entire Federation, implying she had no family and had been wandering alone. This deepened Luca's guilt. Lieberly understood how hard her life had been, his eyes showing genuine pity. Evelina, without a guardian, you can't live alone in the Empire. I've heard about the auction. Your scent easily drives males crazy. You need protection. She sniffed herself. I don't smell anything. Lieberly spoke vaguely. It's only strong under certain conditions. Evelina thought of the system's passive skill and lowered her head in thought. Luca frowned. Don't you know what your scent can cause? His concern sounded like a reproach. A female's attraction to males is ingrained in their genes, and Evelina's scent could make males lose control. Luca initially thought she had awakened a talent, but seeing her confused expression, he realized she couldn't control her scent, making her a target. Evelina didn't understand his thoughts, only feeling he seemed to disdain her, so she lowered her head. Luca, you're scaring her. Lieberly then softly said, if that's the case, you need a guardian even more. The candidate must have strong mental power, low berserk factor, the ability to support you, and a strong background. Someone like me is quite suitable. Luca growled a warning. Lieberly continued nonchalantly. I'm a royal member, and I'm not engaged. I'm qualified to support a little female. The atmosphere became tense, with Luca releasing his male pressure. Lieberly, though strong, was no match for Luca's aggressive talent. It's just a guardian. Is it necessary to fight? I'll leave then. Evelina didn't understand their conflict, but urgently needed information about the world. She chose to hold onto Lieberly's sleeve. Can you stay a bit longer? I want to learn about this place. Lieberly raised an eyebrow at Luca, and then sat down to answer. This planet, Sky Haven, has 3 main factions. The Federation, ruled by technology and mental power. Ostland Empire, being a member. The Alliance of Freedom, ruled by religion. And the Wandering Alliance, home to exiles in the ungoverned zone, the Veil. Here, a female can form a family with multiple males. Unmarried females are supported by guardians. Due to the scarcity of females, the Federation has mature policies. Females inherently soothe males, so the Federation mandates females must have multiple mates. An average artificial female must have 6 or more mates yearly. The lower the female's quality, the more mates required, with lower male genes. High-quality females can choose freely, but need at least 6. Evelina saw the hidden danger. The policy seemed to favor females, but forced them to match with as many males as possible for societal stability. Thankfully, she had the system to return her home. How to quickly accumulate 2,000 points. Even with excellent genes, she needed 20 births. Host, your body has been modified for easy conception. You can also give birth painlessly and recover quickly. How to produce excellent genes? I'll evaluate males' qualities for matching, increasing the chance of excellent genes. You can then choose. She looked at Leberly, talking eloquently, and the system prompted, detected compatible male, mental strength, S, talent, healing, gene, excellent. She softly interrupted. Leberly, can I call you that? Looking into her eyes, Leberly was dazed. Of course you can call me Ash. My name is Ash Leberly. She shyly called his name, then smiled, looking like an innocent girl. You know so much. Can I often ask you for guidance? Leberly, lost in her eyes, replied, I'll always help you. He had to admit, a soft and sweet female like Evelina was incredibly charming to men. Most females here were arrogant, scolding males at will, having too many admirers. Leberly despised this, refusing to be anyone's mate. Unbeknownst to him, Evelina was skilled in winning hearts, knowing how to captivate men. They chatted happily, with Evelina constantly smiling. Noticing Luca had disappeared, she saw crushed cigarette remains on the floor.